Rozzelle. I've been the head baseball coach at Catawba Valley for the last 7 years. I've had the pleasure and honor also to coach and scout for Team USA. Last summer, coaching the 16E, 17E national team development program that fed into the 18E national team that went on to, we didn't play an international competition last year because of COVID, but it did play Team Canada and beat up on them a little bit. What I'm going to talk to you today is about catching, okay? Catch is something very near and dear to my heart. Did it as a player, really studied it as a coach, and trying to find ways to get better. What we're going to run into that you're going to see is that there's a lot of hot button topics in the catching community, okay? There's knee down versus traditional. There's moving the baseball versus not moving the baseball. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tell you today, I am not talking about stances. Your catchers, whatever it is that you teach, will catch however it is that you want them to catch, okay? Our catchers at CVCC are taught every stance. Their right knee down, their left knee down, their drop knee, they do all the different things, because my job as a coach is to hopefully give them a complete toolbox. They pick out the tools that work for them. Because the only thing I care about at the end of the day is that that right arm's moving from the umpire when it's supposed to, and balls are being blocked when they're supposed to. However they do that, you're supposed to give them the power to do that. So for us, I don't care about knee down, okay? The only thing in knee down for us that we take away is I don't like it with a runner on third, okay? The reason is not because I don't trust my catcher. That young man right there is Lane Rhodes. He is one of the best defensive catchers that I've ever coached in my life. I trust him with all of my life in any situation. It's not about what he can do. Our misses on the mound dictate to what we want, right? Our pitchers, even though we've got a great staff at CVCC, they still miss, and they miss by a lot. We got to block the miss. So yeah, it's 92, 93, 94, but it's also, we have the tendency to miss a target by 6 feet sometimes. Can I get to that ball out of a knee down stance? Probably not. In the big leagues, guys don't miss like that, right? So the knee down probably has a little bit more effect. So I want to make sure that I'm not telling you, today's not about stances, it's about glove path. This is about receiving. Receiving is the most important thing a catcher does, without question. When I was growing up, catchers were all based off of, can he throw? That's fine. How many times does that happen during a game? Not a whole lot, right? I argue that the ability to catch and the ability to keep strikes, and even possibly steal some, is more important than anything else. It's the thing that defensive stats and metrics have provided that has the most value in runs per game, and it's the thing we do the most. So our guys, in terms of our practice priority, we practice receiving every day, every day, all the time, okay? Even if we've got tag plays built in, even if we've got pop times or throws, we may do those once a week, but receiving is done every day because it is the most important thing that we do. So now, when we're talking about receiving, okay, I want to talk to you about glove path traits, all right? You see a lot of stuff going on, especially in Major League Baseball right now. There's a lot of knee down, there's a lot of big glove moves, and those things that whether or not some people agree or disagree, but the numbers tell us, the umpires tell us, that good glove path traits are the secret to winning strikes. And what does glove path traits mean? Meaning your glove action pre-pitch, right? What happens before the pitch, what happens through the pitch, what happens at completion of the pitch, okay? What we want to see, just like when we're teaching hitters, and again, I'm not here to talk about everybody's hitting philosophies, but hypothetically, we want the barrel to be on plane with the pitch as long as possible, correct? Well, I want that barrel, it gives me a chance. I can be late, I can be on time, I can be early. The same concept goes with catching. I want to be on plane with the pitch. That way I can move through the catch and I can give the appearance of the old school sticking, right? If I'm above the baseball, I'm going to have a really hard time doing so. The angles don't work. the miles per hour don't work, it is very hard in controlling your levers, okay? If I'm coming from above a baseball, trying to catch down and trying to hold that spot, it is almost impossible. But if I'm below the baseball and meeting it on the way up, I now have everything I need to be strong through the catch, present the pitch, so hopefully we can get that umpire's right arm moving. You're gonna see when I work with these two young catchers, Kylie and Lane, you're gonna see small moves, big moves, it doesn't matter, but the glove path traits are the same. The glove is on path with the ball, and we finish up and through the catch. So I'm gonna walk you guys through kind of our pregame stuff. Let me see, here's softball. And I won't care what stance they do, okay? Kylie stood right in front of Lane, no glove right now. Whatever stance you want, we're gonna start with just rolls, okay? So he's gonna roll the ball to Kylie. Kylie's gonna pick it up off the ground. Now here's an important key. I want to finish at the midline and chin, okay? Everything I do is midline and chin, especially in the drill setting. So go ahead and roll it. Good, midline and chin. Again, whatever stance you want, go for it. I don't care. This is not the point of today. The point of today is receiving. Glove path trait is way more important than stance. There's two more. One more. Just feel it working through. So now we've done rolls. Now we're going to work into a short hop. Okay? So just like infield work, just like infield glove work, we're going to roll a short hop. So as he short hops it to Kylie, Kylie's going to work through the short hop, present it midline and chin. Beautiful. Good. So 5 each. Perfect. Guess what? They mess up. Who cares? Beautiful. 5 each. This is about as basic as a routine as you can get. In our program, we actually add weighted balls. We do variety of different stuff with that ball on the side. This is a little disc. You use a little frisbee, you use whatever. He's gonna throw it like a frisbee at Kylie. Kylie, you're gonna try to catch it in your 2 fingers, okay? This is a little more difficult. Good. 5 each. You can use whatever you want for this. I've used big frisbees in the past. These are actually little mini discs from Sam Barksdale. You can order through his website, but again, you guys are coaches, you're all creative, you don't have to pay for something. You just use a little disc, really focusing on those 3 fingers, trying to make sure that the hands are soft on the catch. If you drop it, it's part of it. It's hard, it's supposed to be hard. Go one more. All right, last one. Flip it upright. Now he's gonna throw it like this, okay? Kylie, when she throws it back to him, the goal is to try to catch and present flat. All right, so catch and present flat. Again, you can use a bigger frisbee, doesn't matter. Go ahead. This one is way more difficult, but it's just a great way to start. Good. There you go, beautiful. Perfect. Catch sideways, present flat. This gives an example of the glove going down to the bottom of the zone and presenting flat through the zone. One more. All right, so put that off to the side. I'm gonna start with Lane because obviously Lane's been one of my players. Lane, you're gonna go over here, Kylie. What I want you to do is go be the umpire. You can go ahead and put your mask and take your gloves because I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go back and forth from the team. We're gonna start with a drill. Start with a drill here. It's gonna be a glove drag. A lot of the times, what we see in bad catching, a bad glove path trait, is again, the glove gets above the ball too quickly. You will see in the big leagues, there are guys that are really good at catching and guys that are poor receivers that are working on it. they're in knee down, they're doing all the same stuff, but when it gets time to catch, it's just not the same. What happens is the glove actually goes too early. We want the glove to stay late. So if I'm down in a position here, you'll see glove presented, they'll drop it, and then they'll get back up, and it's too early. We want to make sure that glove is staying on the ground as long as possible for the sake of the drill. So that's what this drill is for. So you're going to put glove on the ground, and you're going to drag that heel and wait for timing through the mitt, okay? So, Kylie, you kind of get in the slot like an umpire and tell him if he sucks or not. Good. How'd that look? Okay, good. Notice how his glove is below the ball at all times. 2 more. 1 more. Beautiful. Kylie, your turn. No pressure. Never. I just met Kylie 3 minutes ago. Keep the glove on the ground and drag it all the way through. Yes, ma'am. One more. Good. Can I get a player to, I don't know how to work, make sure it's a little lower next time through. All right, back to lane. Now, what I want you guys to look at, and I'm going through the drill sequence, but I'm going to actually make Lane do something that I've never told him to do. I want you to keep the glove above the ball the whole time. So everything I've ever taught you for 2 years, forget it, okay? I want you to keep the glove above the ball because I want you guys to watch, even as great a catcher as he is, how different the look is in the catch. So keep the glove up. Good. One more. Good. Now, that may give the appearance of the stick, right? But you can see, even in this drill, it doesn't present the ball as it's going back up to the zone, right? Go back to normal, okay? Go back to the glove drag, please. So this is the drill, the glove drag. He's dragging the glove. How much difference are the two, Tyler? How much different are they? Yeah, I mean, so again, hang tight. What you guys are thinking about, well, they're moving the baseball, they're moving the softball, the umpires see that. That is incorrect assumption, okay? Studies have been done. The umpire sees the baseball like a hitter sees the baseball, right? So a hitter sees the ball directly out of the hand. Once it gets about 15 feet, the hitter has to make, this is baseball, the hitter has to make an assumption based on the information that it's gathered through his eyes or whatever, where that baseball is going to end up, right? We don't actually see the baseball as we hit it, which is why fastballs with high spin at the top of the zone are so effective, which is why good breaking balls with arm speed are so effective, because we don't see it. We see something out of the hand, our brain puts together some type of formula and says, hey, I think the baseball's gonna be there. I.e., same deal with softball, okay? The umpire is no different. When that baseball or softball crosses home plate, it sees where that baseball is coming from, and between the catch and the presentation, the umpire brain puts together where he thinks that ball is caught, okay? Or he or she thinks that ball is caught. You guys see the TrackMan, you see the K-Zone, you see all the stuff on TV in the big leagues. These umpires are graded every night on their effectiveness as an umpire. And we want to moan and groan and complain about umpires. In Major League Baseball, these are the best umpires we've ever had, according to the numbers. These guys get it right 95% of the time, unless you're Angel Hernandez, you get a little bit more, okay? But most of the, like, if you look, there's a report on Twitter that judges each one after every game, every night. They're freaking good. So these guys are the best in the world. They're being judged by K-Zone, TrackMan, whatever, and they're still right 95% of the time, and they still call these strikes. because they cannot see the baseball all the way. So if I start here and I work down below, I may catch the baseball there. I may present the baseball there. In the umpire's mind, I caught it somewhere in there. That's what we're trying to do, okay? So let's go back lane. Let's go four more drags, okay? Drag that heel of the glove. Just scoot over a little bit, there you go. That ball is middle shin, and we are presenting it to the umpire to a spot where he could call it, okay? And you're going, okay, Kyle, we'll come back over here for you. Like, so you're talking about stealing strikes. No, I'm not. I'm talking about keeping strikes. Because if that ball's at the knee, that move through the baseball is going to make sure that ball is called a strike. If I'm above the baseball and I drop down, I'm giving the chance that he can call it a ball. We cannot do that. Pitchers, listen, I don't know how many pitchers we got here. Life's hard enough on them, okay? They throw strike, especially in a bad spot. We got to keep that thing in strike, okay? So working from above the baseball is a no-go. Be below it, work up through it. All right, Kylie, I didn't mess with this. If it hits you in the face, I'm sorry. No, I want it down at her knee. All right, good luck. A little more. Trying to get the bottom of the zone, coach. She should be able to catch. That's a strike. There we go. All right. So now, Kylie, make sure that you're working this drill where that glove is dragging and you're staying as late as you can, and then catch it. And remember, present midline and chin. Good. Stay below that ball. Good. Better. Two more. Yeah. Good. Not bad. One more. In on the catch. Beautiful. All right. So now, that's basic fastball setup. That's basic whatever bottom of the zone. You're going, okay, coach. What about balls that move direction? And again, I'm not real up to date with all the crazy stuff softball pitchers throw, because I know it's wild and way different than baseball. So you go, okay, what about pitch design, and what about breaking balls or sliders or whatever? We have to think about pitch design that leads us to setup, that leads us to glove path, okay? So if I was doing a breaking ball per se, okay? A breaking ball per se, a right-handed breaking ball that's gonna go down and away, arm side to the catcher. When I work my glove, I'm gonna present target and I'm gonna drop it down in the area that this ball may be coming. Does that make sense? So right-handed breaking ball for a baseball player, as I present target, I'm gonna retreat to the ground and I'm gonna treat this way a little bit. So now that gets me on plane. When you're teaching your catcher setup, your main goal, okay, especially with put away pitches or whatever, you're trying to get them to win the pitch if executed, okay? So what that means is that if I'm calling a right-handed breaking ball from a baseball player, I'm gonna expect it on the outside corner, right? I wanna be able to win the pitch that's a ball off. I wanna win the pitch that's a ball down. Is my setup allowing that to happen? So what happens is a lot of times that, okay, we do our glove pass stuff and that's great, but then if we get here, and I'll go ahead and do it, I'm gonna call breaking ball away, but I'm gonna set up middle. Now all of a sudden, if that pitcher executes whatever pitch that was supposed to be here, what happens to me? Now I called it, I should be able to set up to go get it. So if I'm set up, I want a right-handed breaking ball, I want to make sure that even if I get that pitch, it's a ball off, two balls off, ball down, I can present it in the zone for a strike, okay? So just make sure you're putting that into use with your catcher. What pitch are you calling? What's the shape of the pitch? How are you going to win it? Now, go ahead, Kylie and Lane, if you guys could put on that wrist guard or wrist weight. These are just extra drills that you can use. And my job is just kind of showing you as many drills as we use every day. You can use this weight. We use J-bands. We'll have guys out front pulling their bands because there's different ways to catch. There's like flex or extension, flexion. Again, however your catcher catching is up to you. It's really what's up to this. All right, so Lane, we'll start with you. All right, all this is just providing a constraint against it. It's the same thing. Don't do a glove drag, Lane. Go normal, pre-pitch, retreat. So he'll show target, then he retreats to the ground. And now the weight just makes the move a little bit tougher. Two. One. Good, Kylie, your turn.
Two thanks.
All right. So as you see, this ain't pick on Kylie time. Okay, this is the first time Kylie's done it. That weight's heavy, and it's going to actually cause a constraint that's really, really difficult for your catching. Okay, but that's the point, because we want to make sure that we're moving up through the baseball, even with that weight, or softball. Good. Two more, Kylie, and I'll stop messing with you. One more. Good. All right. Back over, you can go ahead and take it off. I'm going quick. Our guys will normally do a couple sets, and we'll have them set up in each stand, and they'll work extension. They'll work flexion. Again, it doesn't matter. It's about finding what works for your catcher. So now, Lane, go through your pre-pitch again so we can talk through that, and I may have jumped over that. So Lane will show target. Okay? You get set up. All right, you're set up, right knee down. He's going to present target to the pitcher, and then as the pitcher starts his windup, he's going to work what we call pre-pitch. Okay? If you notice, the glove retreats down. Okay? Obviously, we have a concept for it. Why? Because we want to be below the baseball or below the softball. But you don't have to retreat all the way down to the ground. I have guys that literally go thumb on the ground. I have guys that go 2 inches down. We are retreating below the pitch you want to win, right? So if he sets up again, shows target, retreats down, that means he technically should be able to win any ball that's above his glove if he has great timing and weights on it, okay? We have to make sure that that presentation is good and the pre-pitch goes beneath the pitch that we want to win. Because we've already seen how we can't win from above, we gotta win from below. So you'll see guys in the big leagues, you'll see guys with big moves, small moves, doesn't matter. All right, like you got, you know, Real Muto moves the baseball a ton, right? A ton, really good catcher. Thomas Nito with the Mets was the best receiving catcher last year in the big leagues on the shadow zone balls. Very small movement, but the glove path trace is the same. He's below the baseball, he's on playing with the baseball, and he presents the baseball as a finish. So they can be small or large. So when you're going through here, now make your catcher's focus, present target, pre-pitch, and then hold finish. Beautiful. Two. Beautiful. One. Good. Kylie, you're up. No weight this time. You should be good. So present target. Retreat below. Present. Beautiful. How'd that look, Lane? Good. Yeah. Talk to me, Kylie. Two. Coach, is she a starter?
Just an All-American.
Just an All-American? I feel honored. Good. Wayne, you ain't an All-American. All right. The last thing we're going to do is another drill that you can work multiple spots in the zone without having to move the machine around. Back when I started this stuff in 2014, we had a machine. There's some of that thing as hard as you can. We're going to do a 5-point drill. So Lane will start where he started at, right at the back part of the plate. He'll catch one. Then he'll move up to the back right part of the plate. Then he'll move up to the back right, or the front right part, left front part, left back, and he'll end at the back one with a transfer. It's just an easy way to get multiple pitches in the zone off the machine and also be able to work in some transfer work. Again, that's not what we're talking about today, but we're always working on something. So, and you can do whatever stance you want on your 5 points, okay? So you start off the back. Good. Then slide up. And you notice now it gives him some glove side work. This one should be a little bit higher glove side. Good. Now slides over. Now he's going to get some arm side work. Beautiful. What do you guys see, right? You see the path and the plane? It's all the same. We start with just a basic fastball down. But now all of a sudden we go glove side, arm side. We got to get around the baseball, beat the ball to the spot, the old school saying, right? Beat the ball to the spot. That's what it looks like. The ball's going that way. We're going to get the glove on path, on plane, and present midline and finish. 2 more. Good. Last one, in with the transfer. Beautiful. All right, Kyle, your turn. So normal, straight up, however stance you want. Beautiful. Now slide up to the right back part of the plate. Good. It's going to have a glove side move. One more, stay there. Good. Slide up. Just straight up. Yep, just follow along the home plate. Good. Slide over. Now you get some arm side. Good. Now, that one you saw how you kind of finished up here with your eyes. That's why, remember, the finish line, think about midline and chin. Right there. That's all it is. Midline and chin. Good. Back up. Good. Now go transfer. Let's see a transfer. I want to see this All-American transfer. Runner! Good. All right, perfect. All right, so those are just a couple basic things that you guys can take that back to your catchers and immediately get to work within 1 day. Something very basic, giving them the thought process, giving them the mindset of, can I get below the ball? Softball, baseball, does not matter. Now, the difference in baseball and softball is pitch design. The ball is coming out from a different spot. It's doing some different things. Put that in your repertoire when you're going to coach. I'm a big believer, especially with our catchers. If our catchers at CVCC, okay, if you watch them catch, we got, let's say 4. All 4 of them are different, and I love it. Because we don't teach a certain way. I don't have, you gotta do this in order to catch. Lane probably is a great mix of all of them. He'll be left knee down, he'll be right knee down, he'll be traditional a ton of the time. We have guys that don't go to a knee down at all. We have guys that go drop knee, which is a different stance where you start traditional and drop the knee to finish. We teach that too. What my biggest thing that I can give you guys as coaches that has helped me tremendously is something that I learned, that it doesn't matter what I know, right? It doesn't matter what I know, it matters what they understand. That is the biggest thing that I've taken away, because I always get so frustrated as a young coach, and I've been trying to teach Lane something, and I haven't had this opportunity with Lane, because Lane has always been a good study. But I'm talking, and I'm drilling, and I'm telling him, and he just can't get it. And I get frustrated. And I go, freaking, game's about to pass you by, dude, figure it out, right? And what a short-sighted and ignorant way to view that as a coach. It's my job to communicate to him in a way that he understands. One of the things that we did, started 3 years ago, that has helped our program tremendously, and unfortunately I'm no longer at CVCC. I've got an opportunity now. I'll be with the Tampa Bay Rays this upcoming season. But one of the things that they do, and one of the things that we've done, is started doing how people learn. So when guys come in the first day, they have to take a test. You can find a test online. It's super simple, and they got to submit it. It's like 20, 30, 40 questions, something very simple and easy. And it dawned on me that I was missing the boat, because I had guys that were audio learners, visual learners, and tactile learners, right? Then I'm talking to a group of 10, 5 understood, 5 didn't. I'm going, well, these 5 can, figure it out on their own, whatever. I don't know why they're not listening to me. Bunch of idiots, right? Freaking dummies. But in actuality, I was a dummy, because that's not how they learn. So now when we present anything in our presentation and program, and you can talk to Lane, you can talk to our players, we provide video version, right? A visual version of teaching, an audio version where we talk through it, and then obviously a tactile version, hands-on doing. So that way, as a coach, I know I've got my bases covered. And then if we still struggle, that's fine. It's not 100%, but I'm telling you, if 5 of 10 was my old success rate, it's 8 of 10 now. And it all started because I realized it's like I have to come across to my player how they need to learn. I got to meet them where they're at. And a lot of times in the coaching community, we were all coached, either still kind of hard-headed or we were coached by hard-heads. Figure it out, do it, right? Sometimes that works, but sometimes it doesn't. Find where your player's at, find a way to meet them in the middle, so that way they understand. Now, whether or not they go do it or not, that's on them. That's on how much they love the game, how much they want to pursue this passion and learn and grow and become a better player. But at least as a coach, you've done your job. I have one big saying that we always use to catch it: complete toolbox. My goal at the beginning of Lane's time at CVCC was to teach him as much stuff as I possibly could teach. But at no way and no point have I ever told him how to catch. I never looked at him when he walked off the field and said, "Why did you go right knee down in that situation?" Right? Don't do that. No, I didn't do that. I have him talk to me, tell me why he did it. Why did we do this? What felt good about that? What felt wrong about that? If you had to do that again, what would you do next? And so now what I've done is I've effectively made Lane Rhodes his own coach. That's my goal as a coach. Is at the time that I've spent with him over the last year and a half, I'm no longer this, authoritarian figure over him. And when it starts, that's what it's going to be: teacher, pupil, right? But at the end of my players' time, when they're at CVCC, especially when it comes to hitting and catching, I want it to now be peer-to-peer at the end. I want it to be a conversation, and I want it to be, "Coach, I'm trying this. I don't like this. Why does this feel weird?" Now we can engage in actual work. That's my goal. Hopefully that's your goal as coaches. Meet kids where they're at, give them a complete toolbox, and let them figure out what tools work best for them. I have an online presentation of this that I did for USA Baseball. It's a lot more in detail in terms of the slides, how we teach the move. If you want that, it's bit.ly/winning from below. Okay? bit.ly/winning from below. And so you guys got to see a very small snippet of that, but there's more detail, more information. That was actually presented during COVID, so some of the videos are from the 2019 season. So it's been a couple of years, but the information still holds true. Is there any questions you guys have for me, I guess, before Coach Holler runs me out of here? Blocking balls in the dirt. So for me, we have a saying is call it, catch it, block it, throw it, hit it. That's the importance of the catcher position. We got to be able to call a good game. We got to be able to catch a good game receiving, and the blocking is by far the next thing. The best thing I can tell guys and girls is we want to be soft as possible. We want to block with the belly button, and we want to absorb. Think pillow. A lot of times we, especially young players, and rightfully so, you're teaching kids to be aggressive through the block, and that's fine, but we get a little too aggressive in the block. The block doesn't matter if the ball ends up over there. The block doesn't matter if it ends up over there. The block matters only if it's right here. Basic. So when you're doing blocking drills with your team, even if you're void of maybe perhaps perfect form and technique, make it result oriented. Because trust me, as coaches, we all understand. We have a saying, I take results over aesthetics. I don't give a flying flip how it looked or how you did it. Did that runner stay at his or her base? Okay? I do not care how it happened. So when you're doing blocking drills, you can set up that machine very easily. One of the things that I've learned is that you can find different balls that go into the machine where you can mix in regular pitch balls that they can catch and maybe a softer ball that now will go down the dirt that they can block. So make it result oriented. Make it competitive. Make it something worthwhile. Okay? You know, I've been down both roads as a coach. If you ask my captains in 2014, part of my friendship, like, coach was an asshole, right? Like, we're freaking doing that drill, and if we messed up, we had up downs all the way down the foul line, right? I mean, do I get my point across, baby? But I mean, is that really useful, right? The guy that I need the most out of, because trust me, if you got a bad catcher back there, you're not gonna win, hands down. I don't care what level you're at. If your catcher stinks, you stink, right? So the person that I need to rely on the most, I'm gonna wear their tail out because they might have not blocked the ball correctly and was off by 6 inches. I don't know how smart that is, but I can tell you that if you make blocking fun and it's something that where it's not every day and not something that you're doing to where they go, coach is gonna try to drive us in the dirt today. No, if you can do it to where they can look at it as it's a skill acquisition, and the better I get at this, the better I make my team, then I think you'll have success. A lot of the times, and it comes from this, and I don't mean to talk negatively of programs. I've been a part of programs that have done it. Catchers are always put to the side, okay? We all know them. Catchers are put to the side because the head coach, especially at the high school level, I got so much other stuff to do. We got to schedule BP, throw the catchers, you just go get your bullpen and work some receiving drills on your own and then hit BP, right? We get kind of, as catchers, we get kind of lost in the shuffle. So if you have time to take with the catchers, in my program, we work every day early work. So if practice was at 2, catchers are at 1:30 with me. So they got individual attention every day prior to practice. Then we got to practice, and whether or not I said, hey, we're gonna go block today, all right? It wasn't a, man, this sucks. It never was, I'm gonna beat you up today. A lot of the times they're just soft, dry blocks, just working on technique and then finish with a competition. But so they get through that, and then all of a sudden, our catchers in our program always hit in the first group during BP, okay? You go, why do you do that? Well, number one, this catch is the hardest position on the field, and we're special, so we deserve a little extra attention, right? You need to give your catchers some love. But they hit first, and then they go, and they literally get an oh-yo period the rest of BP. They're not out shagging, they're not doing whatever. When it's time to run the bases, they run the bases. But Lane may go, hey, I need to do some hip mobility stuff. So it's not like he's just sitting there picking his nose in the dugout, right? He's doing something. He'll be back behind the turtle working through hip mobility routine, working through the roller. Guys will go, hey, I want to work left-handed sliders off the machine. They'll go down in the cage and they'll set up behind with another machine that we have, and they're actually getting their oh-yo work. And some of them may say blocking. But again, it's not about just 100 mile an hour off the machine. It's about, I'm working on my technique. What's the results I want to have? Is it dry block? Is it soft block? Is it roll blocks? You don't have to just wear guys out. But my big long story long, is whenever you're doing any type of blocking deal, make it about the result, and you're gonna watch your guys and girls get better. Because it doesn't matter how it's done. Because in game, runner at third, we're on the road, that's the winning run. Your catcher jumps sideways and blocks it with her foot and prevents that runner from scoring. You're gonna do what? Say great job, right? It's not gonna matter. So make it about the result, not necessarily about the aesthetic of you didn't get to 2 knee down, block, perfect position. Like, did the run freaking advance or no? Right? Make it about the result, not the aesthetic. I don't give a flying flip what it looks like. That runner better be where he's at when the pitch is from. Okay? Anybody else? This was easy.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kylie.
I appreciate everybody coming out today. Warmed up a little bit, but this says a lot that you come out in the cold and want to make the game better by even if you just picked up one thing today. But I hope you picked up some stuff and take it back and implement it into your practices when you start. I know high school starts in February and you're doing winter workouts. So thank you all for coming. Hopefully we can make this a regular thing, have different speakers every year. So my social media person, Emily, we'll post it on that, and if it's available, come out and learn some stuff today. I will say this, if there is another clinic in Charlotte, the 21st, 22nd, if you haven't seen that, it's really, really good. They have big time D1 speakers coming in. I think the guy from West Virginia Wesleyan, he's coming in. He's won national championship. Sign up for that and go to that. It's indoors, so it'll be really nice. But it's a really good thing through our coaches association. If you can get to that, I think it's in like 2 weeks. So that's a really good clinic to go to. But other than that, we don't have anything else for the rest of the day. Go find you some lunch, get warm, and I do appreciate you coming out today.
Thank you.